Hello everyone, and a warm welcome to another episode of the What's Going On podcast. As you can see, we're not in the studio today. We're actually at your house, Chua. How you doing?
Bro, I'm good, man.
Nice?
Yeah, I mean, the studio's closed for a couple of weeks.
Yeah. There's an ongoing renovation.
So we're not really sure actually how long we'll be out of the studio, but we've created a decent enough setup at home.
I think we got a perfect setup actually in here. It feels like super professional to sit here. How you been since we spoken last time?
I mean, I was in Norway.
Yeah, a bit of an Easter break, right?
Easter break, fantastic Easter break in the mountains in Hemsedal.
Yeah.
You know, doing a bit of skiing. Got surprisingly a lot of sun. You know, I almost feel like I came back from Thailand. You know, a bit of a tan and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're looking fresh. You always do, but
forgot my razor. So my beard grew out, and then I haven't been.
I like it. I like it. It's a new thing for the camera with the beard and the tan and shit.
And so you look decent timing, and my buzzing as well. You know, you've moved in.
Yeah, exactly. Now we live like 1 minute away from each other.
Yeah.
So it feels amazing to live in Sumpa now.
It's unreal, honestly.
Yeah. So it feels amazing. We're gonna be able to do so much more like spontaneous content that we couldn't do previously.
Yeah, for sure.
If there is something that happens in the football world that we feel that we would like to take down, we can definitely like record an episode.
Yeah, for sure.
That same evening.
Yeah.
So hopefully this will benefit all your listeners and viewers too. So it feels amazing to be here.
Even like the other day, I think you wrote to me, you want to go for a walk? And then we met like 5 minutes later.
Yeah, exactly. So it feels like amazing to be like so spontaneous. So this is both benefiting our lives, but also the podcast.
Yeah, man.
So we have to dive into the first game that we're going to talk about, and it's Liverpool against Arsenal.
Yeah, I have to start there.
Yeah, definitely. Because that was that's the highlight of the weekend.
No question.
Yeah, it was a crazy game. I would maybe almost say that it was kind of the game of the season.
Yeah, in the Premier League, I'd say, my opinion, agreed, mate.
Yeah, there's been like really good games previously.
Some great ones with the big teams.
But it's something special, you know, when it's spring and, you know, these decisive games comes in and it was closer to the title. Every single point means, it feels like they mean more, even though they don't. If you win the first game, it's 3 points. If you win the last game, it's 3 points.
Yeah, that's the thing.
But it feels like this is more, it's more to play for.
There's way more on the line.
Yeah.
Way more on the line.
Yeah, exactly. But talking about this game, how would you sum it all up?
I thought it was a thrilling game. Arsenal started like breathtaking. I thought they were phenomenal from the get-go. The first half an hour.
Yeah.
They were totally on top. Dominated Liverpool, pushed them down. Liverpool couldn't really get going. But then, I mean, I also thought the last few minutes of the game were absolutely incredible.
The amount of chances that they were in the last few minutes, that can be like the amount of chances for a whole game.
Yeah, I mean, those Ramsdale's 2 world-class saves.
Yeah, definitely.
He's actually become a proper good keeper. Like when they signed him from Bournemouth, I'm like, why are they signing a Bournemouth keeper who's been relegated 2-3 times for 30 million? Yeah. But that was an impressive recruitment. Like he's looking top.
Yeah, we talked about it actually because we were on a football game together this weekend. We're gonna talk about that later on. But over there we had a discussion with the whole thing with Jordan Pickford versus Aaron Ramsdale, and for me it's 100%. I think Aaron Ramsdale should be the England number 1, and I think he's been like kind of underestimated. I think he's so good, such a good player.
He is. I mean, but the thing about like we were saying, like Pickford, he hasn't never been bad for England.
Nah.
So a lot of people think, okay, why should he lose his spot? But at the same time, you do want the best player in the position.
And it's hard for Ramsdale to show what he could do because he's never like played in a big game for England. So
that's the thing.
But that was a bit off topic. But still.
And also in the last few minutes, I mean, the Martinelli counter attack.
Yeah, exactly.
Messed up the pass to Xhaka.
Yeah, but I would also say that there was a good reading of Alisson of the game. Also.
Yeah, it was. He's so good off his line.
Yeah, definitely. He got such good like vision, and he can read the play in a terrific way.
Yeah, he's incredible. I mean, we spoke about him a lot previously, and I think one of the previous episodes saying, but stats-wise, he is the best goalkeeper in the league. Yeah. I think he is.
Yeah.
I think he's unbelievable.
Yeah. He
makes some big saves, of course. Messes up a little bit here and there, but overall, big. But I thought a key moment in this game was actually when Xhaka, he got into a scuffle with Trent Alexander-Arnold before halftime. Arsenal were 2-0 up. Yeah. I think it was around the 40th minute. And, there was a little bit of a kind of fight in the corner of the field. Trent, he told the crowd, come on, he got the crowd up and running, wound up after that, fired up, and then I feel that was when the game kind of turned. You don't want to get the Anfield crowd wound up.
No,
it's a dangerous thing to do. You don't want to turn it into a fight.
Definitely.
Like Liverpool want fire. The opposition, Arsenal, they should want ice. Right? They want it to be calm. But then when you get the Anfield crowd wound up, then it's a different story. And then Liverpool go on to score 2 minutes later.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I felt Liverpool had a good period there. But I also felt that was like the thing that was like the cherry on the top. That after that, it felt like Liverpool. They felt like, okay, we're gonna score in this game, and we're gonna give Arsenal a proper game.
Yeah, that's definitely what got the crowd going.
Yeah,
because if they go in at halftime 2-0,
that'd be a hard one.
Yeah, then Arteta can set a plan for the second half, set up his team in a specific way that he wants, and then also probably don't end up tying 2-2.
No, exactly. So this was a really important goal psychologically. For Liverpool for sure.
Yeah, for sure. But I think Anfield in general, like it's a special place. I mean, Liverpool,
it definitely is.
We've spoken about it before, and Liverpool never out of the game at Anfield. Never.
No.
I mean, also I think they've lost the last 6 league games there.
Yeah.
So
they've quite crazy.
Yeah, they've definitely struggled there. I think they've won for like 11 years, like in the league.
Is it that long?
Since I was reading like 2011 or 12.
Damn.
Or something. They hadn't won there in the league. So I think, even though they were 2-0 up, they have to look at it as a point gained rather than 2 points dropped.
Yeah.
Of course, it is frustrating. You're 2-0 up, the opposition comes back, but it could have been worse.
Yeah,
so I think Arsenal fans have to be proud.
For sure.
Of their team for getting a point there.
For sure. And they got like games that they definitely should win, but this is a hard one. I was like, they could actually lose this one.
Yeah, I mean, they should have. Salah missed the penalty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I also think that they came away here good with 1 point.
Yeah.
And that with the Liverpool side also, that's been like a bit in a better form.
Yeah, for sure.
Than they've been previously. Yeah. Also, so it was a harder Liverpool to face.
Yeah. Since they beat United,
they've
lost every game until this one, which they drew. So they haven't won since they beat United 7-0.
Oh yeah, damn! That was quite a while ago.
Yeah, it was a while ago. So they've been,
but it feels like they've been like playing a bit better.
At least, even though they actually, they've been pretty bad form. Even though
if you look at the fixtures, but it feels like I think the playing wise have been like better.
Yeah, a little bit
than previously.
Yeah, but I mean they lost to Bournemouth and
that's true.
What else did they play? Yeah, some poor losses. So they actually. It does feel like that 7-0. That was kind of like the highlight of the season.
Yeah.
Since United have gone on to win several games.
Yeah.
Liverpool just
that was something that they could be happy for that season.
Someone who has to be mentioned is Trent.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a defensive liability. We've said it many time and time again. And I think for the first half, it felt like Klopp almost tried to play him like in midfield, right?
Yeah.
And then he shifted him to right back in the second half, and there, of course, he was better, and offensively, everyone knows how good he is offensively. Right?
Definitely.
Like for that
That's
goal,
never been his weakness. The weakness that he had has been previously like with the whole like defensive abilities.
That's the thing. And he doesn't have to be like the best defender in the world.
Nah.
He just has to not be a liability.
Nah, exactly.
Right?
He can't just like stand there like he did on against Napoli early this season when it felt like he was just standing there and he just ran past him.
And he's done many times already.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think he really needs to put his head down in the summer, just work on the defending fundamentals, because defensively he's a schoolboy.
Yeah. And offensively he's world class.
Yeah.
I would say.
You saw what he did to Zinchenko.
Yeah. Exactly. So that's the thing. That's definitely the thing that he should focus on developing.
Yeah.
I think he will. He's still a young player. So I think if he develops that, he can be a really good player in the future.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And also, like, it was that Firmino scored also.
Yeah.
Was I was super glad for him, because I always felt like he was a bit underestimated. I feel like it feels like
underappreciated.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like the Liverpool fans, they love him. It feels like that. But for people who don't support Liverpool, it felt like they haven't seen like the whole like abilities of Firmino.
Yeah, I'm also surprised by like how little he's played this season, because I think he's actually been good. When he's played. I think it's one of his better seasons over the last couple of years.
Yeah,
like, I think he's been pretty solid.
Yeah,
so I'm surprised by that. But whoever, I mean, he's announced that he's leaving Liverpool.
Yeah, exactly. That might be the thing, that they don't want to play him that much.
Yeah, but even before that, though.
Yeah,
like the whole season he hasn't really played too much.
Nah,
someone's going to get a very, very good player.
Yeah,
and I mean, I think he'd fit into a top 6 team. I think he'll leave England though, so I don't think he'll go into a top 6 team in England. But he's still a phenomenal player.
He definitely is. I think as we said, he's a bit underestimated. I think he's a super good player still, but maybe previously he were even better. But as you said, the amount of minutes that he has played has still been super good.
Yeah, no question.
So that's you. Yeah. And what do you have to say about Van Dijk in this game?
This game was, I mean, for that Jesus goal, that was just super poor by him.
Yeah.
I mean? Like, there's one man in the box and somehow he doesn't pick him up.
Yeah. And I think that's actually crazy.
Yeah. And, I mean, he's been, of course, 3-4 years ago, he was the best defender in the world. Tough to argue about that. But there's been a lot of shouts about him being the best defender in Premier League history and so on. And I think that's...
You don't know your history that much if you say that.
Yeah, there's a lot of defenders who have been better than him. And first of all, you have to do it for a longer period.
Yeah, exactly. You can't do that like for 1 or like 2 seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, Vidic, he did it for like maybe 10 years.
Yeah, Vidic did it for 10 years.
Yeah, you have Rio Ferdinand, you have like...
John Terry was great.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, and also like before that...
Tony Adams,
exactly.
Like, there's been so many top defenders and he can't put him in that bracket.
Nah. He has to be like... has to be performing for a longer period than only a few seasons. So I agree there. I also think that he hasn't been that good. That he'd been a few years ago. Feels like there's something happened there. I don't know what's happened. But
I mean, he has the bad injury, and it doesn't feel like he's come back.
Yeah, maybe that's the thing for him.
I think it's definitely impacted him.
Yeah,
like he's not the level he was since he returned from that injury.
Yeah,
he looks a little bit slower, a little bit,
not that confident either.
Yeah, a bit less confident, a bit less athletic almost.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of
maybe it was the
contributed.
Injury. Yeah, for sure. There was quite a strange situation. There, we in the podcast a few weeks ago we talked about this whole situation with Alexander Mitrovic and the whole thing when he grabbed the referee and so on. And this was the situation that happened in this game was quite the opposite. It was Linesman actually elbowing and Robertson. And I felt like the whole situation was quite strange. I don't know. How did it come up? Can you sum it up for those who haven't seen it?
Yeah, like the thing is, there wasn't really that much footage of it, so still don't really know exactly what happened. I think there's only some cameras that were like at a distance.
Yeah.
But basically what happened was they must have talked during the half, and I don't know, maybe somehow Robertson annoyed him or was getting on the linesman's nerve, and then at halftime, when they're walking off the pitch, the linesman, like, I don't know, almost looks like he elbows him. Have you seen it? Did you see the footage?
Yeah.
It looks like he like kind of elbows Robertson in the chin.
Yeah. Was it on purpose though?
Yeah, I thought it looked like it.
It was.
But I don't know, maybe he didn't mean to hit him that hard. But I mean, if you go like this, it kind of feels like it's it's a weird action to do if you're not trying to elbow someone, like how often do you just go like this?
Yeah. But I feel more like maybe it was like him if he wanted to like come on Robertson, and then he was doing like this, and then it felt like it didn't hit that well on Robertson.
Yeah, I mean...
But as you say, this is not a natural position.
And it was quite high up as well.
Yeah.
Like he got pretty high. But that guy was stacked. I don't know if I've ever seen such a strong linesman. Did you see him? Have you seen pictures of him?
Yeah. Quite a decent bicep, I have to say.
Looking like a bodybuilder.
Yeah. He's not a linesman that you should have an argument with.
That's the thing. So I think the FA or the PGMOL, they've said like he's not going to officiate while they kind of investigate the incident.
Okay.
So he's kind of temporarily suspended until they figure out what happened.
What do you think will happen?
I don't think he'll I don't think he'll be a linesman for the rest of the season. He'll probably get maybe like a little suspension, 8-9 games, which will rule him out for the season. Yeah. And then start again next season. But
quite an odd thing. It was I've seen it previously, of course, like referees being angry and so on. Yeah. With the players, but not like on this level in the Premier League. Yeah. A referee that loses his mind like that. If this was on purpose, of course, then it feels like a unique situation.
Yeah, but I mean, now the title race heating up.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, Arsenal 6 points ahead, but City with a game in hand, and also City play Arsenal at the Etihad. Right? Yeah. So they win the game in hand and beat Arsenal at the Etihad. They're level in points, and I think City have a better goal difference.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'd say actually right now City are probably I mean, if I was a betting man, I've said it the whole season. Like, I still think City are going to win it.
Yeah, and I said Arsenal. I still hope and believe and think that they will win actually.
Yeah.
But it's hard to argue against Manchester City if we're gonna go over and start talking about the game yesterday in Champions League when Manchester City played at home on Etihad facing Bayern Munich, and they win with 3-0 over Bayern. That I felt would be stronger, and that it would be quite more of an even game. But there's been some controversy in Bayern with the whole thing with Nagelsmann and Tuchel coming in and so on. But I was still super impressed with the way City pursued this game.
Mate, super impressive, mate.
Yeah,
insane goal from Rodri.
Yeah, actually, when I saw it on TV, I felt like I could like feel when he got the pass. And then he starts facing the goal. I felt like he would definitely score this one. But then I realized, he's not right-footed. Yeah. He's not left-footed.
That's the thing.
So I felt like, okay, maybe we'll have a pop. But then when he hit the ball, it felt like he was a prime Arjen Robben or something.
Insane.
It was crazy. It was like I could see like the goal directly when he got like the ball, which you don't see that often.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think he's very underrated, Rodri.
Definitely.
Especially in Spain. Like, I've talked to my Spanish friends about him, and yeah, even they barely know how good he is. And I mean, like, there seems to be a lack of awareness about just how good this guy is.
He didn't like prove himself that much in the La Liga. He was good with Atletico Madrid, but it was the same thing there.
He was only there like a season or two.
Yeah,
though,
exactly.
Like he just broke it through, and then he got snapped up.
Like we said with Van Dijk, you can't be good for like 1 or 2 seasons and then be remembered as a legend, you know. And I think it's the same thing, which is not benefiting Rodri in this sick. But I can definitely see him playing Manchester City for a few seasons and then go back to Spain to maybe replace Sergio Busquets or maybe play in Real Madrid and grow his name also in Spain.
I'm sure he'll end up back in La Liga, one of the 2 big Spanish clubs.
Yeah, he will definitely do that one day. We can almost assure you that. But yeah, I was super impressed with this game, and also with the Norwegian monster Erling Haaland.
What an assist! I didn't know he had that in his locker.
Nah, that was super good. The way he passed the ball over to Bernardo, who headed it in.
Yeah, I thought he was going to shoot.
Yeah. It felt like a play where Haaland actually was gonna try to score.
Yeah, I think he shot from a similar angle in the first half.
Yeah,
as well. Even a harder one.
Yeah,
but now this one, like, insane vision.
Yeah,
spotted him.
Insane vision. I was about to say that, and also very good like reading of the play with Bernardo.
Yeah, and then he grabbed his own goal.
Yeah,
3-0 to seal it.
Yeah, I think it was 3 beautiful football goals.
Yeah, honestly, that's 45 goals in all competitions this season.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's a record for the Premier League player.
Yeah.
I think the previous record was 44, I think, by Ruben Dias.
Yeah.
And maybe Salah. I think they shared it.
Yeah.
But now he's beaten, and how many games does he have left? He still has at least
like 15, 20 games.
Yeah, exactly. He's got like 9 games in the league or something. He's got Champions League games. I don't know, at least 4 Champions League games.
Yeah, so maybe 15 rather than 20.
And FA Cup though.
FA Cup too. Yeah.
So I mean.
And he will definitely score maybe like between 5 or 10.
Yeah, no question.
He will definitely score that. So then he will be the record holder.
Yeah.
With quite a high amount.
Yeah.
So super impressed with Haaland. But what do you have to say about Bayern Munich then? As I mentioned earlier, they've been changing coach since the national break. Yeah. Nagelsmann left the club, and now Thomas Tuchel, in my opinion, one of the best coaches in the world, came in. How did they look? I mean, in your opinion,
I thought offensively, they looked quite decent.
Yep.
I thought they looked pretty good in attack. They looked pretty threatening. You know, created some chances. Sané was pretty good. I think he was their best player in attack.
Yeah.
But then defensively, like, they just lacked so much sharpness. I mean, especially Upamecano had one of the worst games I've seen from a center back in a while. But also not just
poor with the ball.
Yeah, so poor. But also like Sommer looked a bit shaky. Those ones.
Yeah. Where he tried to kick out the ball and then
Haaland almost
scored with like tackling in the goal.
Yeah, even Pavard and Davies didn't look as good as I've seen them.
No, I think Davies didn't look that sharp.
Nah, he didn't look too sharp. De Ligt was fine, but the rest were pretty poor. And Upamecano was, man, that's insane. Like how poor of a game he had. Like especially in the second half, he did everything wrong. Like everything he did was.
He must have a hard time sleeping. after that game. And I think he was kind of hyped before he came to Bayern Munich, but he didn't feel like it doesn't feel like he has been like performing super well since he moved to Bayern.
Yeah, but I mean he still starts for France and Bayern. He started the World Cup final, so he's a France starter ahead of people like Konate and so on. So I mean, I haven't followed the Bundesliga close enough this season to know how well he's done this season.
No,
but yesterday that was just so poor.
Yeah, he had a terrible game yesterday. But also, I'm not 100% impressed there, actually.
I also thought, like, in general, Bayern, I think they lacked the focal point.
Yeah.
I never thought I'd say this, but they really missed Eric Choupo-Moting.
I was going to mention it because the whole thing with Choupo-Moting being out, I felt like, okay, that won't affect them that much. But still, I think he's talking about a guy who's a bit underestimated. I think actually Eric Choupo-Moting, he's not that bad actually.
No, he's not. He's had a fascinating career journey.
Yeah,
I mean, he's been in Stoke.
Yeah, that would actually. We've been talking previously about like doing episodes where we follow like a journey or follow like a story. What happened with this player afterwards, like after a big event. What happened? But I think it would be interesting to do an episode focusing on Choupo-Moting and how it all started and how he came to where he is right now.
Now he's had Tuchel for the third time in his career.
Yeah, Tuchel loves him.
He had him at Mainz, he had him at PSG, and now we're Bayern.
Yeah,
so he's definitely a Tuchel man. So I'm sure
definitely.
Tuchel was missing him yesterday.
Yeah, but also he came to Bayern Munich without like Thomas Tuchel bringing him there. Also, he was there now when Thomas Tuchel came to Bayern. Yeah. So. People have been saying, that he got the best agent in the world and so on. He's been kind of a joke, but still, I think also like he's a bit underestimated because he's a good player, and it definitely felt like Bayern actually missed that guy.
Yeah, I thought so too.
I think it would have been a different game if Choupo-Moting been on the pitch. Yeah. Then I think maybe Bayern Munich would have scored. At least like one.
Yeah, I agree. But someone who has really, really impressed me lately, John Stones in that hybrid role. He's been insane. Yeah. He's so composed on the ball. Yeah. And he also gives City a solid back four when they need it. You know what I mean? So I think and I was surprised by how like he was almost dominating in midfield of Leon Goretzka, Joshua Kimmich. Like he was always there to help out in defense when needed. Like he had a phenomenal game. I think he was given man of the match as well. Yeah. And also I think there's been a bit of a revenge also for John Stones because I feel like he's been a bit disrespected, but he hasn't really gotten the praise.
Nah, but also his like journey in Manchester City has been like quite shaky, with injuries. Yeah. Sometimes he played and he wasn't playing that well. It's been a bit up and down.
Yeah, that's true.
His whole like City career. Yeah. But I've always seen like the raw material of John Stones and how good also he is with the ball at his feet.
He's so good at the ball.
Yeah,
one of the best defenders in the world on the ball in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. He's so good. Like the vision.
I mean, otherwise he wouldn't be able to play midfield.
No, exactly. I wouldn't.
He's playing the. What's his name? The
Jetmid Haliti role. He did it a bit better than Jetmid Haliti. We're gonna talk about AIK later on. I can't focus on that now because then I would just get fucking mad. But also super impressed with him and also by Ruben Dias.
Yeah, he was a colossal.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever Bayern came close, he was there to block. Remember the first half, the Musiala chance? Yeah. Because I was going in the bottom corner. Yeah. And he almost did a split to block that. Yeah. And then also I think he blocked the Kimmich shot as well. Yeah. And then Gnabry was on the counter. It looked like a pretty dangerous situation. Incredible tackle there to block him as well. So he had a monstrous game, and he is a phenomenal player. Yeah. He's been a little bit out of favor this season.
And it's also been, I haven't heard that much talk about him. The previous season it was like he's the best defender in the Premier League.
I think he got Premier League Player of the Season his first season.
Yeah,
so he had an insane season, but then
so maybe that was the thing. People were expecting even more from him, but I think he showed yesterday what a good defender he is. And actually, the thing that I liked with Manchester City playing in the Champions League, because it feels like when you have a CD back in the days and you have a scratch on it, so it just like keep on playing the same song all the time. That is Manchester City in the Champions League knockout stages for sure, because it always feel like Pep Guardiola is trying to reinvent himself in these knockout stage games.
Yeah, it does feel like that. And he even said, because he was a bit annoyed about that criticism, he said, when I win, I'm a genius. When I lose, I'm an overthinker. Yeah. But it does actually feel like he has been overthinking. He's done some strange things in Champions League.
It feel like if I would have been the coach and just said like, just play like he used to do in the Premier League, then he would have gone through.
Yeah, for sure.
In some cases.
Yeah.
But sometimes, he's been playing, all of a sudden they're playing 3 in the back.
Yeah.
In previous years, and it was like, why should you do that? And then
Champions League final, they played without a CDM.
Yeah, exactly.
Even though they played with a CDM the whole season.
Yeah. So, but in this case, I always felt like he did this thing with Stones, but he still like had. It felt like the team knew what they were gonna do.
They'd been doing it in the league.
Yeah, exactly.
Before that,
because
it wasn't a new thing for this game.
Because even though you have such a talented group of players, you still have to repeat.
Yeah, for sure.
The plays,
Yeah.
even though they are super skillful players, you still have to feel like confident and to know like what is my role in this whole thing. And I felt like Pep Guardiola got to stick back to basics a little bit.
Yeah, he did.
If you can say that, not stick back to basics, but he did things that the team were confident.
Yeah, for sure.
Performing.
Like it feels like the last couple of seasons, defensive mistakes have cost him dearly.
Yeah.
So this season, he went back to basics. He has a traditional number 9 up front, and he's playing literally with 4 center backs.
Yeah.
No fullbacks.
Nah.
Or he has center backs playing at fullback, but he's not using. He let go of Cancelo. He didn't want to play Kyle Walker.
Nah.
So he's literally playing 4 center backs across the back, and it seems to be working pretty well. Akanji's class on the right.
Yeah.
Nathan Naki is in incredible form, incredible one-on-one defender.
Yeah, and also like they got like so many like good central defenders. They're so good on the ball.
Yeah.
So they can also play fullbacks.
They can play fullback. They can play midfield, as we're seeing.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially John Stones. I don't know how well some of the others can, but he can.
So when it comes to the recruitment of Manchester City players, I think they've been like super well matched with the way Pep Guardiola wants to play his football.
Yeah.
So that impressed me also.
But City are definitely they're really hitting form at the right time.
Yeah.
They've been a bit shaky. We've discussed earlier in the season.
Yeah.
Maybe weren't at their best, but now since the international break especially, they've been on absolute fire.
Yeah, and I think also like if you look back at previous seasons, the only thing, not the only thing, but the thing that if I were the Manchester City coach, the thing that I would focus on is like how can we be better prepared for the Champions League knockout stages?
Yeah.
Because in many other cases, City have been world class when it comes to at least like national class when it comes to the Premier League, the national cups, FA Cup, Carabao, and so on. But the improvement that City needed before the season would definitely be to prepare themselves better for the Champions League knockout stages.
Yeah.
And I think that they've shown that in the first game here. Now everything is not
it's not
signed, sealed, delivered.
It ain't over till the fat lady sings.
Exactly. So we'll see what happens next week. They could definitely be a major breakdown.
Yeah, it can be, but unlikely.
It can be. But I was actually like impressed on like how it felt like they've been focusing on performing in this particular part of the season.
Yeah, for sure. And I think they're favorites to win it now.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel many seasons we say City are favorites to win it.
Yeah.
But I think this year I actually think they are. They're definitely 99% sure going to knock Bayern out. Then they'll play Real, most likely Real, maybe Chelsea.
Yeah.
That one's going to be tougher.
Yeah.
But let's see. But I know someone who was smiling yesterday, though, was definitely Julian Nagelsmann.
Oh, yeah, true.
That's how he feels, getting sacked.
Yeah.
Having won 8 out of 8 Champions League games,
yeah.
top of the Bundesliga, still in the DFB Pokal.
Yeah.
Then he gets sacked, and now, I mean, I think he's happy now.
Yeah.
Bayern almost out of the Champions League. They got knocked out of the DFB Pokal by Freiburg.
Yeah.
So he's a happy guy.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it must be super strange to sit there and watch the team that you work with only like a few, like maybe like days ago.
Yeah.
And then see them lose and be like, okay, if I would be the coach, they would maybe perform better.
Yeah, I'm sure he's happy.
Yeah. I think he is, but and talking about Nagelsmann, actually, we mentioned the like whole carousel of trainers and coaches this season. With Nagelsmann leaving, Tuchel coming in, and they felt there that they weren't like. There was this whole thing with Nagelsmann's girlfriend working for a broadcasting company in Germany.
Yeah, like Bild or something.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
One of the big newspapers.
Yeah, exactly. Not the broadcasting, more of a newspaper. Some said that he's been leaking starting 11s and like critical information from the dressing room, and that the players, they didn't feel that they could say whatever they wanted in the dressing room. Had
she actually leaked anything, or was it just they were scared that she would, or was it actually examples of his ex-girlfriend leaking?
Nah, it been more like the
players didn't feel like.
Yeah, the players had said like, okay, I said that in the dressing room. Who would have else said that to the media? It must have been Julian.
Yeah.
But also I can see like the whole thing now with all these coaches being sacked all over the world here and there, that also makes sense, in a bigger way to actually let go of a coach that has been performing great results, because you see an opportunity to recruit a coach that you maybe holds higher.
Yeah, true.
And I think this was the case here with Tuchel. They saw that Tuchel was available. I think they missed him twice.
Yeah,
because they wanted him when he went to PSG, and they wanted him. And they wanted him when he went to Chelsea. And both those times, they lost it, or like Tuchel didn't pick them.
Yeah.
And now they had like Tuchel on the line. They've been
he was out of a job.
Yeah, out of jobs, and there were also like no other clubs that were like sacking their manager at that right time.
Other than Spurs.
Yeah, Spurs did, but I don't think that he would be that interested in Spurs. Either way, it's a London rival, this whole thing. I don't think that Tuchel was that interested in Tottenham, but still, I think that Bayern saw like, okay, if you were like in competition with Tottenham, maybe also Bayern felt confident that Tuchel will choose them this time.
Yeah, I mean, Bayern's a club where, the expectation is to win every trophy, whilst at Tottenham there's not even an expectation to win any trophy. Right?
No, exactly. So more coaches being sacked also makes sense that more clubs feel that they can take an opportunity to recruit a newly sacked manager. So it makes sense also in that way, because we can see also in Chelsea there's been like
Potter.
Tuchel, he was the coach starting the season. They let go of him, took in Graham Potter in a very early stage of the season.
I think it was like September 6th or something.
Yeah, so it was like
right at the beginning.
Yeah, so they played like 2 games of the Premier League.
A bit more, I think, maybe like, because the Premier League started earlier than usual this season.
Oh, true.
Because of the World Cup.
True.
So I think they maybe played 5-6 games.
Yeah, maybe that was. Yeah, you're right. And then they Todd Bowley recruited Graham Potter, and I felt like, okay, this is Todd Bowley's man. He see a future with his coach. He will be here for 4 or 5 years. They will give him time. But then the results have been terrible.
Yeah, they have.
And their performances have been terrible. So he saw no other choice than to let go of Graham Potter. But
they had to.
Yeah, they had to. But still, also, you already have like Thomas Tuchel on the payroll. I think for me, Todd Bowley, it looks a bit like a clown, in my opinion.
He is a clown.
Yeah, he is a clown. But like, with Sack and Tuchel, maybe arguably one of the best coaches in the world, taking Graham Potter and only give him a few months, that they didn't have more patience with him, also shows me like how unprofessional this like whole organization is.
It's chaotic, mate.
Yeah, and then also you bring back Frank Lampard, who's been a disaster for Everton.
Yeah, he's been poor at Everton. So I felt like that was a strange recruitment, but I don't know. I'm thinking maybe they feel like, okay, they can't be relegated. They can't get the European spots either. So like, there's nothing to win in the league. Going through the Champions League is a bonus. So maybe it's more about having someone represent the club who's liked by the fans and so on for the remaining weeks of the season, while they recruit probably Nagelsmann or Enrique in the summer.
Yeah,
and just have someone who's liked, to be the face of the club for that period.
Yeah, true.
Mr. Chelsea.
Yeah, exactly. But it also felt like, I felt it was a bit like...
I felt a bit weird. Like, if I was a Chelsea fan, I wouldn't be happy about...
And also...
It'll be like if United brought back Ole Gunnar.
Yeah, exactly. And also like, Frank Lampard, I felt it was a bit like disrespectful for himself, to take that job again that he got sacked from.
Yeah.
But also, I think
loves Chelsea.
Yeah, exactly. He see the opportunity to take Chelsea
and I think he sees
to be in the spotlight again.
Yeah, and who knows? The 2 times Chelsea have won Champions League, they've had like pretty bad seasons.
Yeah, and also like interim coaches with De Zerbi.
Yeah, or like with Di Matteo.
Sorry.
Yeah, with Di Matteo in 2012 when they won
2012,
it. They had a really bad season. Di Matteo came in, interim, won it. And even the season, was it 2021, where they won it? That was the season Lampard got sacked.
Yeah.
And then Tuchel came in, right? So they had managerial changes in the middle of the season because they were doing badly, and they won. So who knows? Like, it would be very Chelsea to win the Champions League, even though I don't think they will, but it would be like them.
Otherwise, you have to call it the recipe, right? The recipe to win the Champions League, right? Talking about Di Matteo, what is that guy doing today? Do you know that?
No clue, honestly. I haven't thought of that guy probably in like 9... Yeah, since you won that Champions League.
Looks crazy.
Look it up.
Yeah, I have to do that.
Roberto Di Matteo. But mate, such a carousel, honestly.
Yeah, for sure. He's not even his last job. He went to Schalke 04 after his Chelsea departure. Yeah, and then he was a short spell in Aston Villa in 2016.
I didn't even remember that.
Nah, and since then he hasn't even been coaching. He's only like 52.
Damn, that's quite young, honestly. For, I mean, if you look at guys like Roy Hodgson,
yeah,
he's like 75.
Yeah, exactly,
and he's killing it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Roy Hodgson, fun to see him back.
Great, Roy Hodgson. Yeah. Out of retirement. Come back to Crystal Palace where he feels like he's loved.
Yeah. In 2023.
Yeah.
Before Roy Hodgson came, which was like a week ago, Palace have gotten 5 points.
Yeah.
In 2023.
Yeah.
Since he's come back, 6 points in 2 games.
Yeah.
Average of 3.5 goals a game.
Yeah. That's actually crazy.
Right.
That old man knows how to coach a football team.
He knows the shit.
Yeah. And also, talking about quite like strange appointments with like Lampard coming back to Chelsea and so on. Leicester actually let Brendan Rodgers go, which I felt was kind of like out of the blue.
Felt a bit out of the blue, but at the same time, I feel like when you let a manager go at this stage of the season, I think it's just out of desperation and panic.
Yeah,
you know, like something has to change. Okay, we might go down. We have to do something.
Yeah, exactly as it was with Vieira. Exactly. Also with Jesse March. We've seen some sackings like that previously in the season, and also like 13 managerial departures in the Premier League actually this season.
Yeah, that's insane.
And it feels
13
like
in one season. 13 out of 20 managers.
Yeah, that's actually quite crazy. And also, like, we've been discussing previously the whole thing with like Premier League. You talked with Matt about that. Also, like the amount of incomes that you get out of playing in the Premier League. It's super important for them to stay in the Premier League. They don't, if they feel like, okay, we might go down, they rather appoint a manager that can keep them in the Premier League, no matter how the game looks or how they play. Because the important thing is to stay in the Premier League. Maybe. Because if you go down in the Championship, that can be devastating for an owner. Because the amount of incomes that you get out of playing in the Premier League is crazy compared to Championship.
Such a big difference. And like Matt was saying, like more work has to be done to make it more even. So it's not such a big distribution, but it's massive. I mean, then you risk players leaving. Yeah. Players have lower wages as well. That's often part of the difference with Championship and Premier League. When you go down, you maybe get the whole team gets maybe a 30% decrease in their wage. When they go up, the opposite. Yeah. And I mean, the lack of TV revenue that you get, like, it's just such a big difference. And that's why you see Bournemouth outspent the whole of La Liga in January.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because they need to stay up.
Yeah, they need to stay up, so they need to buy players, but they also feel like if things are not going well, they might as well just let their coach go. Yeah. So they can stay in the Premier League. So I think also, like, if we should sum this like whole thing up, talk about the managers leaving, I think that's the thing. Yeah. That's why we see it. And we didn't even mention that Brendan Rodgers was replaced with by Dean Smith, former Aston Villa, Brentford, and
was he Brentford as well?
Yeah, he was in Brentford before Villa. Before Villa, and then it was a short spell in Norwich. Okay. Also, so not a greatest CV, but also it feels like a manager that they can have for the end of the season. They were in quite like close talks with Jesse March, from what I've read. But also that Jesse March wanted like he wanted to be assured that he would stay in Leicester for a few seasons. But I think that
you can't get those assurances in modern football.
No, exactly. But also maybe I can see that Leicester was like, okay, you would get the remainder of the season, and then we can come up with a decision. I think Jesse March wanted like a longer perspective out of it.
It's not a thing today.
Nah.
But it makes sense.
Yeah. Maybe we should talk a little bit about your Man United.
Yeah.
Having I
love talking about them, innit?
Yeah. Quite a good winning streak here against... no, actually, they lost against Newcastle.
Really poor performance against Newcastle. Right after the international break.
Yeah.
But since then, we've turned it around.
Yeah.
In games that they've been must-win games, for the top 4 hopes. But 1-0 against Brentford at home, and 2-0 against Everton, and games we surely deserve to win by far. I mean, we dominated both those games.
Yeah.
Tremendously.
Yeah. But hasn't only been like positive with Manchester United because your golden boy this season, or your two maybe golden boys this season, Casemiro and Rashford has been in a bit of trouble. Rashford being injured. I saw today that they confirmed that he will miss a few games more. And also
could have been worse though.
Yeah, exactly.
Seems like it's just a couple games.
Yeah,
2-3 games maybe.
Yeah, I felt like okay, he won't play anymore this season.
Yeah.
But here you can see that he won't. He won't play for a few games, but he will most probably be back before the season is over.
Yeah, I guess he's probably back in 2 weeks or something.
Yeah, most probably.
He said he's back for the run-in. That's when all the games come thick and thin.
Yeah, and then Casemiro's red card was like 4 games.
4-game
ban.
He's back.
Yeah, he's back, and now also Christian Eriksen is back after his injury. Now United got quite a delicate problem with Casemiro.
Problem for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Casemiro fit and back. Now we have Eriksen back from injury. Sabitzer has been playing better the last few games, and also with Bruno playing on the offensive central midfielder position. Do you think there will be a top 4 place for Man United?
I mean, I'm not as confident as I was, a couple weeks ago. But I still think we'll get it. I think maybe Newcastle will take 3rd. I don't know. But I think we'll be top 4. Spurs don't look that good below us. Liverpool are too far behind now. So I think top 4 is fine. Yeah. And if not, I think we'll win the Europa League. I think we'll get Champions League football regardless, but it is looking a little bit more iffy than it was. But that's why we needed those 2 wins against Brentford and Everton. Like those were huge.
I think also that if you feel like you have a terrible run maybe in the Premier League, I think that you will definitely put it all on the line in Europa League. And you're facing Sevilla tomorrow in the Europa League. Any thoughts on that game?
We should win. Even now with Casemiro and Eriksen. Yeah. Even though Rashford's missing it, I think we should have enough quality. We'll dominate the midfield. You'd expect. Sevilla have had a terrible season.
Yeah. Also, as I was about to say, Sevilla's been a terrible season.
Yeah. So I mean, but it is their competition. The way Champions League is Real Madrid's competition. Yeah. Europa League is Sevilla's. So,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, they've been on fire in that.
I don't even know how many times they've won it, but it is theirs.
Yeah, it almost felt like Spanish and Portuguese teams, they're like on fire in the Europa League.
That's true.
Yeah. Talking about teams being on fire, we have to talk about Newcastle. This whole project that the Saudi Arabian government decided to invest in earlier on, it looked like they've fallen out of the ball, but they've had an incredible form recently.
I mean, they've been class.
Since like the international break.
Yeah, pretty much. I think they had 1 or 2 wins before that one, but in general, because like we talked about before, like I thought they'd shit the bed, them and Spurs. Yeah. Now they look like they're on fire. I mean, they've won. They beat United 2-0. They beat West Ham 5-1 away. Yeah. They beat Brentford 2-1 away. They look solid.
He also like Alexander-Isak starting to score.
He looks locked in. He really wants that Champions League football.
Yeah, definitely.
He's been on fire.
Yeah, and he often is like that late spring. He often shows his abilities.
It's like typical Swede when the weather gets better.
Yeah, exactly. I don't blame him though. I feel the same. I like fly into work now when it's like this weather outside. You get like so much more happy and so on. So I can see my man Alex doing that. But also like Saint-Maximin,
he's looking
Joe Linton. There's been like so many players.
Callum Wilson on fire.
Yeah, Callum Wilson also. They got both him and Isak. They can play up front. So I think actually they're dangerous. They look dangerous, and they might as well also pick out a top 4.
I think they will.
Position.
I think it'll be them or United 3rd and 4th.
Yeah,
I don't know which one it will be, but I think it'll be those 2.
Yeah. Do you think City will win it?
Yeah,
Arsenal
City,
second,
Arsenal,
United, Newcastle.
Yeah, that'll be my order.
Yeah,
maybe Newcastle pip us because of all the games we have, and we're still in the FA Cup and the and the Europa League.
And Newcastle are not.
Yeah, they're not in any competition. So
they only have one game per week.
Yeah, that's the thing. So they might get 3rd ahead of us, but 3rd, 4th, it doesn't really matter.
No,
same shit.
But it wouldn't be that many people that actually saw that that would be the top 4. Don't you think?
Yeah, I mean, no one would have had Newcastle there this season. Most people would have thought maybe 5 years from now they'll be there.
Yeah, exactly.
Already, that's super impressive.
That's also shown like how much you can do with money in a short period of time.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing is, they haven't really signed like big players.
It's not like good Premier League players, good players for like the way they play their football.
Yeah, people would have thought they're going to try to get people like Neymar and shit. You mean like they'll be linked with those guys? Yeah, kind of like City were in the beginning. When Robinho, those type of stars. Yeah, they didn't. They went a different route. But of course, I think just having all those finances helps so much behind the scenes, right? Invest in like new backroom staff, better facilities, just all of that.
Yeah, and also better coach.
Better coach for sure. And
in the way that he has.
And it's not like they took it's not like they went out and got someone like Ancelotti, like a top coach. They still got like kind of low-key coach who could go to Villa, could go to Everton, like a guy like that. So it's not like they got a superstar coach, but he's been great. The players who were there have stepped up as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good spirit of the club right now.
Yeah, and I think that was the way to go. Also, to not like lose the fan base. Know, if they wouldn't taken in like Neymar, hiring a big name coach, then I think maybe the fans would have think, oh wait, this is going a bit too fast. Where is my like local Newcastle team? But now they felt like they improved, but in a Newcastle friendly way.
Yeah.
So actually, I have to give credit actually
for sure.
to the ones that are responsible for the recruitment to the club.
100%. And I mean, like it seems like they've also been really cautious about like FFP, right? Like not taking too much advantage of loopholes there.
Yeah, exactly.
Just going about their business in a solid way.
Yeah.
So it's really impressive what's happening at Newcastle.
Yeah. And talking about what money can do to a football club, now we'll actually not talk about the Premier League. We will talk about the fifth tier of English football.
Non-league
football, actually. Even though they earn money to play, they live to play football, but it's still like in non-league, as you say.
And like Matt talked about, in England, it's the only country with so low down in divisions.
You can still earn
good money. It's still professional football. You still get crowds of 10,000 people.
Yeah.
Imagine fifth tier in Sweden. Even like third tier here in Sweden. There's no game. There's no fans.
It's not no fans in the second tier. To be honest, in some teams. So.
And even some teams in the first tier.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely different here in Sweden when it's in England. But we're of course talking about Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney's Wrexham. That I've been praising previously, the whole documentary. If you haven't seen it on Disney Plus,
you're a big fan of that project.
Yeah, definitely. I think they will. It's going to be really interesting to follow them. They are now recording the second season of this documentary, so you will have to follow their like whole this season, and hopefully they will gain promotion because they almost secured it this weekend, and they faced Notts County, who were actually top of the table, but with one game in hand.
Yeah, both on 100 points.
Yeah, both on 100 points, and it was quite an even game. There was, I think it was 2-2 until the end of the game, and then Wrexham scored a 3-2 goal.
Yeah,
and then in the last minutes, Notts County get a penalty, and it felt like okay, they will most probably score. The only thing here was that Wrexham they got an injury on their first goalkeeper actually a few weeks ago.
That's why they signed Ben Foster.
Yeah, so in January they went back to their former player. Ben Foster.
He was there like on loan in his youth days, right?
Yeah, when he was like 19, he went there on loan when they were in like League 2 or something. I think he performed really well there in Wrexham, and that's where like Sir Alex Ferguson saw him and wanted him to Manchester United.
Yeah, wow.
So it was a super fun story actually, and I read today that he actually said no to like Newcastle. I think it was also like Brighton to be like a second choice, like be part of their like whole goalkeeping squad. Yeah. He wanted to play and he wanted to do something special. He could most probably go to like a League One or Championship team and play there, but he felt that Wrexham's project was interesting and that he wanted to do something special and he wanted to give back what Wrexham gave him, because when he went to Wrexham he was like out of favor in the club that he were in then. I don't remember which club it was, but then he went to Wrexham and after that his career sort of like started. Maybe he could say that he could thank Wrexham for the career he had until today. So it was really beautiful that he signed for Wrexham, and it's also kind of like a fairy tale with like all these people in the stands, hoping for Wrexham to get promotion into professional football again. Rob McElhenney and Ryan Reynolds in the stands, and then they get a penalty in the last minutes of the game. And then Ben Foster does an incredible save, actually. Yeah, it was. Because it's the height of the penalty is quite okay for a goalkeeper to save, but it's actually quite hard. So it's like
and like in the corner as well.
Yeah, and he's also like he's saving it, and then he's like, because the first touch that he takes on his hand, it goes a bit like out. So if it only would have hit that hand, maybe it could have gone out and the striker could have scored. But he did he touched it with one hand and then he felt like he pushed it away with the other one. I don't know if that was on purpose though, but still it was a masterpiece. And that he showed that he comes from a way higher level than the non-league.
I mean,
non-league system.
His whole career has almost been 4 divisions above that. Do you know?
Yeah, exactly. So, but I still think it's a beauthule saga and a beautiful fairy tale, and it's going to be interesting to see Wrexham's continuous journey through the English league systems, because I think we will see that in a few years.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I'm quite confident they'll get promoted again.
Yeah.
Because even this season, there's no surprise at the top of the non-league. I mean, they have the budget of a League One club. Yeah. So of course, they should be beating all these non-league teams.
Yeah, and also
they have so much more money than everyone else, right?
Yeah, they've been signing the top scorer in League Two, Paul Mullen, and then they also
signing people like Ben Foster.
Yeah, exactly, Ben Foster, and then they also signed another guy, Palmer, from League One side. I think it was Wickham or something. So they are on a higher level than the National League, so they should win it. And so it's an exciting story that we're gonna follow up on.
Yeah, for sure. And great for the city of Wrexham.
Definitely. A small society in a small village in the northeast of Wales.
Yeah, and those are the team who've been the longest in that division.
Yeah,
I think they've been there 15, 16 years.
Yeah,
without going up or down. So
so maybe they were actually in National League then when Ben Foster
maybe
got there. They must have been then. Yeah, but we're gonna follow Wrexham.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah,
interesting to see.
A thing that wasn't that interesting to see though was the AIK's first game at home, and this was actually because me, my dad, and my brother was season ticket holders since in the mid 2000s.
Loyal.
Yeah, definitely. It's my boyhood club. It's I say when I go to the stadium, I say it to my girlfriend. She always think I'm an idiot when I say it, but it feels like I'm going to church, man. When I go to watch AIK, it's like religion. It's not only a football team I support. It's religion.
Yeah, I feel
it's
that.
Like my life. But in this game actually there was another friend of mine, Marcus. Shout out, really loyal listener to our podcast. So shout out to Marcus. But he's a season ticket holder this season, and he wasn't able to come actually to the game. So I gave you the chance.
Yeah. Thank you, Marcus.
And then I gave you the chance to come, as I told you, to come to heaven and watch the AK play. But it was more like hell, I would say. What a shocking performance that was, man.
3-0 loss to Norrköping.
Yeah.
They're not a top team, but they're not a bottom team either, but I don't know. I don't know anything about Swedish football. Really.
They're a mid-table team.
Yeah, they won the league a couple years ago, right?
Yeah, they did.
So they're not a terrible team.
Jan Andersson was the coach then, who's now the coach of the Swedish national team. He was the coach in Norrköping back then.
But yeah, mate, I was listening to fans talking around me while we were there. Yeah. A lot of people were saying that they remember seeing that bad of a game at home. Ever for AIK.
I think actually it was the worst game actually since I started to watch AIK, and I went to my first game in 2002. At least that I remember. I think it was the one in 98, but I was only 3, so I don't remember it. But 2002, I haven't seen that terrible. We haven't been that terrible since then, basically. Yeah. We have a new coach now in Andreas Brännström. Done some decent signings. For those of you who don't know that much about Swedish football, maybe you've heard the name Victor Fischer previously, former Danish wonder kid.
Yeah. Had a good spell at Ajax.
Yeah, Ajax has been playing for FC Copenhagen. Also been playing in the Premier League with Middlesbrough, Mainz in Germany and Bundesliga. So we've been quite decent signings.
Yeah, for sure.
The coach that he hired now has been a bit hyped in Sweden. He's been performing well in smaller teams in Sweden, but now is his time to show himself in Swedish football, and it was just a total disaster, with John Guidetti being injured, sitting in the stands watching the whole thing. Victor Fischer, who's a shadow of his former himself.
Yeah, there's no surprise he ended up at AIK.
Nah, exactly.
He should be in his prime. I mean, he's 28, 29.
Yeah, he's
194.
1 year older than us.
So he should be in his prime. But
yeah. But that injury that he had a few years ago affected him. So he didn't look that sharp either. Jimmy Durmaz, former Swedish national team player. Back then he was a right winger. Now he's more of a defensive midfielder. But he got subbed off in half time. Didn't have such a good performance. So it was just I was just super disappointed because I was so hyped, going to the game. I was like, okay, now we're gonna see some real football. Because you've been following me to AIK games before, but now I was like, okay, this will be something different, and it was
first home game of the season. Yeah, so it was such an anticlimax.
Yeah, exactly. And it was definitely something else than what you've seen previously, but not in a good way.
The coach is under pressure now. They really have to win the next game against Summerby.
Yeah, so it's a derby coming up here on Sunday, and some people said it to me. I think it's ridiculous, but that his job is maybe a bit uncertain if they don't win this game.
That's modern football.
That's modern football,
especially in a club like AIK.
Yeah, exactly. Where there is zero patience. So, but we will definitely update you more regarding Allsvenskan, and most probably focus more on AIK than the other teams, since I'm an AIK fan. But yeah, that was it about AIK. And I think before we end up this episode, I think we should just give some brief what we think about the fixtures, because tonight there are two really big Champions League games with Real Madrid facing Chelsea on Santiago Bernabeu. There's also an Italian game in Champions League when it's Milan playing on San Siro facing Napoli. What do you think, first of all, with Real Madrid against Chelsea? What are your thoughts and predictions?
First of all, by the time this episode's out, it'll already been gone, or the game will have happened.
True.
But we can still speculate and see how right we were.
Exactly. That'll be fun.
Yeah, but you have to think Madrid will win that one, especially at home.
Yeah.
So let me go for 3-1 Real.
Yeah, also Chelsea out of balance. Frank Lampard being the coach. Yeah, I think Real Madrid will win that game.
Yeah, should be quite comfortable. Yeah, but you never know in the Champions League.
And grande Milan. What do you think?
Milan beat Napoli 4-0 a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
which is a bit unexpected, but I didn't watch that game, but still. So I think that one's more even than people think, and I think also Osimhen he's injured as well.
Yeah, Osimhen is our player. Yeah,
so I think it'll be quite tight, honestly.
Yeah. Now I was asking what you thought, but then I say what I think.
but that's what I think.
Yeah, I think Milan will actually. I think Milan will win the game actually, and then.
You think you'll go through though?
I'm not 100% sure on that because if they're playing in 1 week time with Osimhen back, at the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium, that can be a tough one.
Yeah, true that.
So yeah, but for those of you who listen to the episode, those games are already passed by. But still, it was just fun to speak about.
See how right we are.
See how wrong we were. But yeah, this has been an interesting experience for me, at least, to be filmed the first time. I hope you enjoyed it and that you felt that we, or at least I, performed decent. From now on, I think you will see us in a video format also. Yeah.
Of course, these episodes are also released audio only.
Yeah. So for those of you who like that more, you can definitely do audio also.
Exactly. So, but we want to cater to different preferences. Yeah. Some prefer video, some prefer audio. So we do a little bit of cater to everyone.
Yeah, exactly. We want to make you all happy, right?
Yes, sir.
And please bring us if you have some feedback what we could do better.
Yeah, please do.
Because as we say every episode, we love all the listeners. This means so much for us. It's a dream coming true to be able to have our own podcast. So
for real.
So we hope that you admire it in the same way that we do.
Yeah.
And we hope that you can see also that we admire what we do here.
Yeah. And guys, subscribe on YouTube, rate us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify.
Yes.
We're on TikTok now as well.
We're on TikTok. There's some big things coming up. Great guests.
Yeah, some phenomenal guests coming up.
So keep your eyes up.
Eyes and ears open.
Yeah, eyes and ears open for what's coming next from the What's Going On podcast.
Exactly.
All right, Take care, guys.
Peace out.